Alright, fuckers, welcome back to Practicing Portraits, an artwod roadmap, right? What is artwod? The best online learning platform in the world to actually become a good artist, learn form, learn fundamentals, and apply it in a unique and fun, family-friendly way. I don't know this. I'm not actually affiliated, so I can just say whatever bullshit I want. But link in description. They're fucking great. I'm just a dick writer, right? I'm a shill, as they say. Who am I? I'm Viggy. Oh fuck! I was supposed to. God damn it, this intro's already going to shit. But what can I draw like? I could draw like this. Wait, don't go. There you go. I can draw like this. There you go. See? I can draw like this. This was my latest imagination drawing from my streams. Check out part 51 to 53. Okay, what else? Yes, Viggy has done it. I've finally gotten a sponsor, right? Daniel Flipchap Portfolios, I believe, right? Link will be in description, either under my Lords and Saviors or things I shill, whichever category, right? Look at this shit, right? And by the way, I didn't get paid for the sponsorship, so we have not actually made it yet. But this is a free fucking portfolio binder that I got. And you get an engraving, and this can be a logo as well. It doesn't just have to be this. Look at that, bro. Look at that fucking, and this is not, he has like fucking 20 different colors. Yeah, he reached out to me. It was pretty fucking sick. But this fits what is it? Printer paper, right? It's dual hole punched. Dude, Daniel made a fucking mistake using me as a goddamn advocate, right? And if I was getting paid, I'd be a even bigger dick rider. But genuinely, this is extremely high quality, right? My incredible cameramanship is not doing the best job, but yeah, like this is just how it comes, right? This is dual hole punch. You can hole punch things. Like I'm gonna hole punch a bunch of printer paper and just put it in here. This could be my sketchbook basically, but he actually has sketchbooks as well, right? I just got the portfolio binder instead, but this is like A4 printer paper. He has a bunch of different sizes. Dude, look at this. It's so fucking quality. I'm cooming. God damn it. I don't know how else to show this properly, but yeah, Daniel Flipchap Portfolios, like actually fucking slut, actually sick. But anyways, now that I've nutted thoroughly, and I will again, you guys know, like if I was getting paid, I'd be fucking slurping hard right now, right? So if you're surprised as to that not being the representation of me slurping hard, then just wait till I start getting paid sponsorships. But anyways, all that bullshit out of the way. Get your pen, get your paper, draw along, right? Draw along, draw with me, become great with me, because I'll be becoming great. Emphasis on the coming, regardless. So you might as well join me and practice along, right? Keep me on the background, give me your attention. Okay, my fingers are really shaky today, as you can see from this horrendous number 12, right? But what are we doing? We're looking at a portrait, right? Oh, and by the way, my next like 10 videos are gonna be me dick riding that binder, because I told him I'd do it for a few videos, and I want to as well. It's not just something that's being forced upon me, right? He literally just wanted to be like, hey, if you could mention my if you could mention the portfolio in your video, that'd be sick. But I'm gonna do way more than that, because I actually, like, I was very taken aback by how quality it was. But yeah, you'll be able to see the entire repertoire of things that he offers. But anyways, what are we doing? We're looking at a portrait, we're encompassing a box over that portrait, we're putting a sphere inside that box, and we're imagining center lines inside that sphere, inside the box. If that sounds extremely difficult, it is. It'll take me roughly, it's been a few months of doing this, it'll roughly take me probably another half a year to 2 years to really get it down, which is great, because that's basically how long I'm going to be doing the portrait roadmap for, right? And again, it doesn't like, this is all about the reps. Right? Intentional reps. The more volume you do to understand a concept, and the more you really try to flesh out your understanding of that concept, the better you'll get. Too many artists, beginners, maybe intermediates as well, but mostly beginners, you fuckers are looking for the quick hack, and the quick hack is the hard, consistent work over decades. That's the quick hack, okay? Because there is no quick hack, dipshit. And if that made you feel bad, then good, join me. Let's feel less bad by actually putting the work in together. Oh, look at that, I'm creating a hashtag Viggy family. But anyways, on to drawing. I'm already drawing in my mind, but the main thing is just trying to visualize this. Now this face is very foreshortened, which makes me happy because I get to practice, and this is why, like, I'm already thinking because drawing is thinking, right? So the main thing that I'm focusing on is creating my mental schema, right? So right now I'm focusing really hard on visualizing the box, the sphere inside the box, and the center lines inside the sphere inside the box, right? I'm really trying hard to visualize that. And then I'm trying to hold it for as long as possible while I do this, right? I'm just trying to hold it for as long as possible, and the second it goes away, I take a step back, and then I try to rebuild it again. And that's just a process of essentially visualization, like holding the visualization, as well as constructing, like reconstructing the visualization, right? And the second I start putting these lines down, it's very easy to lose it, by the way. Like, I've basically already lost it because now my mind is like, oh, focus on line, right? But that's why we have to keep course correcting, right? Like, what is the best way? Like, what am I creating that perfect sphere, right? Is how difficult is it to create this perfect sphere? The answer is pretty fucking difficult, right? NGL, famo, right? And you also have to think about proportion. We genuinely also have to think about proportion as well, right? And these are all very difficult things. And on top of that, like, the other thing I have to note for myself is like the edges in which the sphere touches, right? It touches this edge, it touches this edge, it touches the bottom edge over here, I believe, right? Yeah, it touches that, and then like same thing, it touches this one, and it touches that one. There's a lot of touching going on, right? But thankfully, this is not an island. This is just a piece of paper. So, but yeah. Was that joke too far? The answer is who knows? Who knows? But I found it funny. So as long as I find it funny, as a wise Danny once said, actually no, I can't sing like him, so I can't even do it. But he was also singing quite well. This is all completely outside the point. Anyways, back to fucking visualizing. Jesus Christ, right? Yeah, the island is my piece of paper. There you go. That's the joke I was trying to make. But anyways, okay, so I'm having a lot of trouble visualizing this right now, so this is good, because I'm really trying to hold this all in my mind. Again, drawing is thinking. I want to be very clear, right? The thinking you're doing is the skill you're building. The biggest example I can always give is Karl Kopinski, right? Karl Kopinski literally had a fucking stroke. He had a stroke, okay? He lost all feeling in his dominant hand, which was his left hand, and into his entire left side of his body, right? And in the past year, he's basically gotten, from my beginner eye, right, from my extremely untrained eye, he's gotten vast majority of his skill back, right? And that is an incredible testament to the fact that drawing is thinking, because his mind was already that of a master, right? He already had the masterful mind. Now it was just about regaining his motor skills. If that isn't proof, like if that isn't proof that it's drawing is thinking, I don't know what is, right? Because he didn't lose the ability to draw. He lost the ability to apply his drawings, i.e. his mind, right? His spatial reasoning, his line work, his understanding of the world. That's what he temporarily lost, you know? And again, I'm trying to think about that perfect sphere. So, and this is like a very foreshortened face as well, so I got to keep that in mind, right? This was incorrect, so this is a box in perspective, and like while I draw this, I really still got to consistently think about the box, the sphere, the center lines, everything, right? And slowly but surely, I think I am getting it. Slowly but surely, right? And don't call me Shirley. But I did have a topic that I wanted to talk about today, which is usually the same shit I always say, but I like to talk about these things because not only are they reminders for those of you listening or drawing along or watching or whatever, but they're reminders for me as well, because I like to remind myself of all those things. So today, it will be a revisiting, and I will do this hundreds of times throughout this channel in my life, which is basically this channel, to be honest, right? But it's a revisiting of effort, right? And why the effort really is the only thing that matters. Also, this is diverging. That's a good mistake, right? I made a beautiful mistake that is diverging. And again, I lost the 3-layer box foundation, box sphere center line, so I'm taking a step back. Okay, and then now I'm gonna try to reconstruct it again, right? Try to really reconstruct it again, try to really think about all the points where the perfect sphere is hitting, right? And this is actually not bad. I think this is genuinely, and because a big part about learning is course correction, right? We're not just doing the same thing over and over and over, right? We're actually applying, we're trying to understand. And again, while I'm talking, I'm drawing, and while I'm drawing, I'm thinking. So while I'm talking, I'm thinking. I'm literally running 2 parallel lines of thought at once, while also applying one of those parallel lines of thought and using my other parallel line of thought to explain the other parallel line of thought, which is being applied, right? So I hope it goes to show just how difficult drawing is, like genuinely how difficult drawing is, and more than anything, how difficult talking while drawing is. But I hope it also shows that just because it's difficult doesn't mean it's not doable, because clearly I'm doing it. Am I doing it perfectly? No. Am I like, is there anything incredibly impressive about what I'm doing? Absolutely fucking not. But the point is I'm doing it, and that's what matters, right? And I'm gonna now draw this, because I'm gonna draw from this angle specifically, because I really struggle with pushing out from this angle with this pen, right? If you want to be humbled, use a brush pen. Like if you want to be humbled for years on end, use a brush pen. Because it will fucking humble you. It will literally humble you to the core. And again, while I'm talking, I'm thinking. Like I'm really thinking right now. right? And I'm trying to think while I draw these center lines, and it's only gonna get more difficult as I draw the features as well, right? But, and again, like I'm thinking, you know, the cross contours or the cross center lines, right? The sphere inside the box, it's all slowly, I'm trying to think about it as much as I possibly can. I'm pretty sure I made a mistake here as well. That's slightly diverging to this, but that's just how it is, right? That's a good thing because I made these mistakes. And again, I lost it, so I'm just gonna take a step back. The main thing is like to think as hard as I possibly can, right? Like to really put in as much effort as I possibly can. And wow, I literally lost my train of thought because the whole point of what I was trying to say was the whole effort bullshit. But okay, so let's talk about effort, right? Why do I keep fucking jerking off over effort? Well, right now my words may not mean much, right? And I understand that because I'm in my building phase. I'm still in the beginner phase when it comes to proving that what I'm talking about has merit, right? I'm still in that phase because those of you who don't understand the merit of foundational work will look at this and be like, what the fuck? He's just like, none of this is portraiture. Like maybe the features that he draws on top of it, but none of this is actually portraiture. And now with that, fucking, what's it called? And we'll be back with a ad break, some shit like that. I'm gonna rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. It's yeah, and I'm working on being more comfortable with just taking these breaks because at the end of the day, it's my fucking channel. It's my practice, and I need to make sure it's as reflective of my practice as possible. So again, let's build that box, sphere, center line inside the box again, right? I think this is definitely pretty decent. I still think maybe this is a bit too wide, right? And this is too wide and this is still too narrow, possibly. When I look at the reference, I feel as if it should be a bit better. Obviously because like this is slightly diverging than this, and this is slightly diverging than, or like this is slightly, this line is slightly more diverging than this one, right? Like it's diverging. It looks a bit off, right? And if you can't see that, great. That means your eye, you have the ability to build your eye. Like you now have quote unquote, you know, an eye needs improvement. You have room for improvement. I don't know if that's just the Canadian government system, education system. Okay, this sphere is actually a bit too wide. So it should have been, yeah, it should have been something like this. So that means this should have definitely been a bit wider. And this should have been cut down quite a bit. But you see, like, this is what I mean. Like, this is why effort is the only thing that matters. Because if I was focused on, like, having, okay, I have to have the perfect sphere, and I have to see the center line, and I have to calculate all these things, then if the goal becomes to just do it, then you're always going to be disappointed. And by the way, I'm still thinking while I'm talking, but if the goal becomes just to put in as much effort as possible, right now the goal is, like, hold that visualization as much as you can while you draw these features, because that's extremely difficult, right? Drawing features while holding a visualization is extremely difficult, right? So if the goal becomes just to do it, right? Like I must do it or that is the failure. And again, like while I'm looking at this girl and trying to make these features make sense, right? I'm losing that visualization. I'm losing a lot of it. I'm consistently losing it because it's extremely difficult to do so, right? It's just extremely difficult to draw features while also thinking about a box, a sphere, center lines. Like I lose it a lot, right? But I'm also, the most important thing is the act of trying, right? So again, it's all back to effort is what I'm trying to, you know, hopefully within some structure talk about, right? But I think that's the main thing of what I'm trying to say is, and this is kind of what I'm trying to reassure to myself, right? And that's why I was saying, like, this doesn't really mean anything right now, because those of you who don't understand foundational work will see this and be like, he's going to be doing this for hundreds more repetitions. We're just going to have fucking practicing portraits, but it's not really portraits for who knows how many hundreds of parts. Like, is that really what this guy is doing? Like, it doesn't make any sense. You know, I've gotten critiqued for that. One person critiqued me on that, but it's still a critique that I was given, which I understand the sentiment. I completely disagree with it, because I think that person's a fucking moron, but, you know, right? Like, I have to obviously believe in what I'm doing as well, to a pretty strong degree. But again, I like, it's also about taking advice and knowing where that advice is coming from, right? So I lost the construction again, and I'm trying to bring it back. Let's bring it back. Oh, let's bring it. I don't know what that's from. Pretty sure it's a song, but this is not bad. This is definitely way more correct of a perspective than this ever was. Um, I just think the face is too narrow. I just, if anything, it's the ratios that's off, because this is not what's fitting that perfect sphere inside of it, right? So this should have I should have just made the box bigger, but have the ratio be like, this is where the box ends, you know, because now there we have our perfect circle, right? I believe, yeah, like, see, this is a lot more of a perfect sphere, which is what I'm going for. But I mean, apart from me always shitting on that one person who gave me advice that I didn't agree with, the point I'm trying to make is, like, many people will not understand the foundational work that I'm doing right now, and I expect that and I welcome it, right? And that's why effort, especially when it comes to doing foundational work, is all that matters, right? So we're gonna hold this box, and it's a good thing that this is technically far away from like the page, like in comparison to the next thing I'm gonna draw, but also I'm a little bit sick. If you can't tell, my voice is a bit nasally. Ohana means I need to take some Tylenol, right? So, no, just a lot of fucking mucus that I'm just slurping on, and then I'll be shitted out in a few minutes. But again, like, what I'm trying to reassure to myself is like, just the act of constantly trying to hold this visualization is very important effort. So, and oh yeah, like, it's a good thing it's far away, because I can't refer to this as much. Like, I really just have to recall, right? Recall and memorize exactly what I'm trying to do. And obviously I want to have a bigger sphere. And the other difficult part is the fact that, like, this is good because now this I'm really going to be reinforced with, because my brain is dying right now already, like, trying to hold this perspective with the sphere. And while I'm saying it, I'm adding those things. Like, I'm holding the box with the sphere inside the box, with the center lines inside the sphere, inside the box. And I already made a bunch of mistakes in visualizing the center line accurately. And what I mean by the horizontal center line is this, right? Which is, like, it's this. This is the ellipse, right? This right here, fucking horrible example, but this. And then there's an ellipse inside of that. And then the only part of the ellipse that we see is like this, right? Again, this pen is really humbling because my lines went to shit the second the ink flow was correct. I bitched about that for like 5 fucking hours straight, or like 10, 15 videos straight. And now that it's here, I'm like, oh, god damn it, I'm humbled. I shouldn't have said anything, but I am glad it did come about. But yeah, so box, and I guess I'll make this quite large. Box, sphere inside the box, and I'm looking at this a little bit. I guess it's cheating. Box, sphere inside the box, and this is like the perfect sphere. And like, I'm trying to hold it, right? So let's move it over. Let's have it down here, right? But box, right? Really subtle, really, really subtle, really difficult to hold. The subtlety I keep missing, right? Oh god, I got a burp. Oh god. Ooh, that was pretty good. That's what I needed. Right, so that's like the 4 steps I'm trying to take, is like the box, sphere inside the box, center lines inside the sphere, inside the box. Oh, there you go. That's what was missing. Right. Oof, this is very difficult. And again, I am looking at this a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. If it is cheating, so be it. Right? But let's see. Somebody's gonna be like, he's a Soviet, he's a Russian plant. It's true, I am a Russian plant. I'm specifically a hibiscus. I know that's not a Russian plant. I don't know any Russian plants, if at all, right? I'm very ignorant when it comes to flora and fauna. But anyways, yeah, like, it's very difficult, like, talking while thinking and just really trying to see this, right? Like, I'm genuinely struggling a lot, but the main thing is I'm struggling, right? Which is, and again, you see how like I keep making the angle like this, even though this one's extremely subtle like that. So that's room for improvement. See, again, so room for improvement. So it's very subtle. So there you go. That's a lot better. And now I need to what the fuck? Fit a perfect sphere. And again, the second I made this sphere here, now immediately the angle changes because I had to fit it. I put the sphere in the incorrect placement, right? So it's like, okay, if this is the box, then the sphere comes in like this. So I need to move this down, actually. It needs to be more like this. And this is actually tilted slightly, right? So visualizing this is the most important thing. And again, there you go. Now I'm slowly starting to get the sphere inside of it. And like, you got to really build it up, right? And now we can think about the center lines right? Which is this. Oh, sorry, yeah, like which is this minor axis, or like the sphere, or the ellipse with this minor axis. Holy shit, I'm really bad. Oh fuck, that's wrong. Jesus Christ, it's like that. Yeah, I need to explain better because I there you go. Like this is the side plane I'm imagining. This is the ellipse that I'm putting inside of it. This is the minor axis. When you project the sphere outward, right? That's the curve. Obviously, in this case, the sphere is more like this, right? But I need to explain better. I need to explain better. Okay, I hope it. What I'm trying to illustrate is this. Like I am trying to think about this, the box that I've created, right? We're trying to think about that. And then, like, this is what I'm trying to visualize and then calculate, by the way. It's like, okay, we got this box, right? And then, obviously, this is not going to be a perfect sphere, but this is, like, I'm trying to put a perfect sphere inside that box. So everything needs to be to the edge properly of that. Then we got an ellipse inside this side plane, and then we got an ellipse in this bottom plane, right? Which we're then going to project outward. So if this is projected outward this way to the center line, it's going to be like this. How do we calculate the center line? Because I'm thinking about this as well. So look at that. I got the center line wrong. Same thing. Move that upwards, right? And it's, there you go. It's that part of the ellipse that is in perspective of the bottom plane is being projected outward and to match the curve, the contour of the sphere itself. That's what I'm trying to visualize. This entire fuckery is what I'm trying to project on this scale over here, accurate to this box. Okay, that is what I'm trying to visualize. And it's been 21 minutes, and you're gonna be like, what the fuck, he's drawn one box? And he hasn't done anything like this? The answer is yes, it is extremely difficult. So, but now the most important thing, the even more difficult thing on top of that is like, while I'm visualizing this, I have to start thinking about shapes, right? So that's the main thing, is like, let's start thinking about shapes, right? And what do I wanna do? Well, I do wanna do something different. And oof, okay, like now my brain's really hurting because I'm gonna be thinking in angles. I want something jutting out. Like I actually want to try something different, right? But at the same time, I need to make sure that my center lines, and I keep making the beautiful mistake, but I need to really visualize this. Like now my brain's really hurting, so I'm really trying to visualize this entire thing. Let's move this down a little bit, right? Let's move it down a little bit. Make sure that front plane is still very narrow like it was here, which I'm not doing, right? But I need to visualize this. Again, the angle is too, oh, what the fuck? My pen just randomly jumped forward in my hand. Quite the dexterity. But I need to visualize this, and now this is the difficult part because I'm trying to hold this visualization as much as possible and also make sense of it. And now we just need to establish some sort of, yeah, we need to establish something that's occurring because this is my sphere, right? This is my sphere. Again, main thing is like to really get the front plane down is what I'm kind of trying to think about, is like just get the fucking front plane down because that is extremely difficult to already get down. Dude, visualizing this is hurting my head, which is good because we want to hold it. But if I lost it, because it flickered and I lost it, we take a step back. I'm actually going to rest my brain again, and then I'm going to try to rebuild it again. Yeah, this is one of those sessions where it's really hard for me to, it's actually been really hard for me today to push my mind and to see everything. So like I need to lean even further. Am I in extreme discomfort? The answer is absolutely fucking not. So I need to really lean into this discomfort, like really lean into this discomfort, like extremely, like I'm leaning in, oh, I'm leaning so hard. Yeah, like I'm really trying to lean into this discomfort right now. Like genuinely, I'm trying to lean really hard into this discomfort. And now I feel as if I have a much better understanding of what I'm trying to do. And now I feel as if I can, because again, this is my front plane, right? Like this is my front plane. So I'm gonna start here, I'm gonna end here. Let's see. Now the real question is, what the fuck am I gonna do? I want something to, well, you know what? Just to make it even harder for myself. Oh yeah, okay, see now, like I'm in extreme discomfort right now. Extreme discomfort, right? Like genuinely extreme discomfort. And again, this is the box, I keep losing this box. I keep trying to do this just because naturally my brain gravitates towards that, right? But this is what I need. right? Like this is what I need, like something very subtle. This angle is what's fucking with me the most, right? Like this subtlety, and that's good because that means my brain struggles with subtlety. It struggles with subtle angles, right? So that's what I need to see the most, right? And while I do this, I need to think about all the fucking different angles that I can possibly and like calculations that I can come up with. I'm trying to calculate this as well. So let's hold this as much as possible. Keep fucking it up. Keep course correcting in my mind, of course, right? Keep course correcting. Keep course correcting. And again, you're not seeing the drawing, but I am drawing. I'm drawing a lot in my mind right now, right? Like I'm genuinely drawing so fucking much, but that's not what you're gonna see, right? You're not gonna see that, and that's okay. I don't expect you to see that. Okay, see, I already fucked up the angle. Or did I? Because I can still make this make sense. You know, I fucked up the angle quite a bit, but we can make it make sense if we do something like this. Right? And, oh, okay, see, I lost the perspective again. This is really good. Take a step back. Okay, try to rebuild it again, right? Try to rebuild it again, try to rebuild it again, try to get it in the right perspective. Really fucking work our brain. Genuinely just grind the fuck out of our brain to get this down, because like now I'm slowly starting to see the sphere, right? Slowly in the center lines as well, right? But that's the main thing, is like really grind the brain and make it so, let's see, maybe something like that, right? And incorrect perspective. And now like this is gonna look really wonky, probably, like almost most definitely, but it's okay because we're just trying to understand. We're trying to hold the perspective, which is extremely difficult, right? Like this perspective, trying to hold that. Let's see. And like while I drew that, I completely lost the perspective. Yeah, it's like a really weird shape. Definitely not that good. Of course it's not that good. Like it's because I completely fucked it up. But it's okay. It's okay. We're just gonna keep trying. Now like that is the accurate perspective. Now I actually have a bit of a better baseline to put it off of, right? And while I do this, I have to make sure that this is aligned properly, right? Like it's actually aligned properly. And then we got and again, like I started on the side here, right? Which is obviously very difficult, but let's see what I can do with this. And like, dude, it's so hard. It's so fucking hard to think. Holy shit. There you go. Let's just do something like this. Just some random shape that I drew, but clearly establishing the center line is actually even more pivotal. I mean, it's obvious, but I didn't do it, so that's on me, right? There you go. And we'll, oh dude, this is actually hurting my brain so much. So let's try to reconstruct it again, right? Let's try to reconstruct it. There you go. Okay, that's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. Trying to find the sphere, because again, that's the main thing, is like constantly trying to find the sphere, right? There you go. So if we do something like this, even though I think this is probably already incorrect, but if I do something like this, right? I'm gonna bring it over here. So my center line is over here somewhere, right? My center line's over here somewhere. We got the sphere. We got the sphere. Center line's over here. Bars, right? Now, what do I want to do in the center? Again, I'm not going to try to think too much about like, oh, I need this shape and I need that shape, but I do want to think about what do I want to do in the center, right? So this is the center line, and we could probably do something like this, right? This is where the, oof, okay, so the main thing is like, dude, holding the sphere, like trying to think about that sphere properly is so difficult. I fucking love this feeling. I actually love this feeling. This is so good. And that's actually what I want to talk about, because I completely butchered my entire whole philosophy of trying to be like, oh, let's talk about the effort. Not philosophy, sorry, but my my statement earlier of like, yes, we will talk about the effort today and why that's important, just so I can fucking reaffirm to myself. And then I didn't reaffirm shit because I was so focused on the effort, which is kind of funny. But yeah, like it's the reason I can only think about the effort clearly is because I can barely expend effort as it is, right? Like I already have so much trouble. Oh, like yeah, I'm already having so much trouble thinking about the effort, right? Like just putting that effort in. Now, obviously this has to be a perfect sphere. So again, when I think about that, because I already created this line, I have to think about how the sphere is encompassed inside the box, right? And it's encompassed inside this box. So when I have to think about that, it's already hurting my brain. So what is the one thing I can control? What is it? Like, let me, if I just ask myself that, it's the effort that I put in, right? That is the one thing that I can, to my utmost, control, right? Without feeling like, damn, I'm fucking garbage, right? And that's the main thing. It's like your feelings don't fucking matter because whether you're garbage or not, you still have to try and put the work in anyways, right? So try to obviously remind myself of that as well. But let's see. I don't know. I just don't know what I've done. I actually don't know what I've done at all. And let's see. Something like I'm losing it. I'm actually completely losing it. This video might be the hardest it's ever been for me to visualize everything, which is good. Like I'm genuinely struggling so hard. So I need to push even further. I need to push even fucking further and to try to reconstruct everything, right? Now, if I do something like this, right? Because now I've established like this is my side plane. If I do something like that, and then I just, because we're not trying to make things super complicated either, right? See, so like I fucked up that bottom part of the sphere, but hopefully this will help me see things a little bit clearer, right? Hopefully is what I'm aiming for, right? And again, like I have a lot of trouble seeing this type of bottom plane, like this subtle bottom plane, like that is extremely difficult. But now I have to keep reaffirming to myself, to keep reaffirming and keep reaffirming that that is my bottom plane, and that's just what it is. Like fucking tough luck, bro. Get used to it. But let's see, right? Maybe something like this. And again, like I already fucked up the angle a little bit, but let's see what can be done if I just. And again, I'm like trying to think about different angles that I could use here as well. And like this, oh, dude, this is hurting my fucking brain so much. So much is hurting my brain. It's gonna be similar to kind of what I did there, but. Oof. Okay, I'm gonna rest my brain because I feel as if I can get this down, but we need to take a step back and be like, okay, what are we actually gonna do, right? Like, we need to reconstruct the box sphere, center lines inside the box, which has been very difficult, very fucking difficult, but I gotta keep trying. I genuinely just gotta keep trying. Because like it's not just about constructing the box viewer and center line, which is already extremely fucking difficult, right? 3 layers of perspective. It's also about maintaining it consistently, or like reconstructing it. And when I do reconstruct it, like accurately making sure that reconstruction is placed in a manner which is reflective of like its place in the sphere itself, right? So like maintaining the sphere itself is extremely difficult. And like again, I need to constantly be thinking about this, right? Like this, I need to constantly be thinking about, okay, but how is the sphere actually like placed inside? And right now it's like, okay, it's placed like this, right? And that's what I have to keep reminding myself. It's like, it's this little thing. And I think the sphere in general, let's see, because like this is a little bit of the center, And obviously the other side will be a little bit of the center as well. And again, you see how my hand just naturally goes down like this? Like I want to think in more extreme angles, right? This is more natural to me because I practice that a lot. This is extremely unnatural. Like anything like this, right? It's like, what the fuck? I can't comprehend it right now yet, right? So again, effort is really, it's like constantly just realigning my box sphere model to fit that mold, because I keep tilting it up and I have to keep reinforcing that I'm tilting it down while also projecting the larger box outward, making sure it's hitting the edges of the sphere correctly, making sure the sphere itself is proportioned correctly, making sure the center lines are actually centered along the front plane that is now attached, like, and that is then projected back to the sphere, right? So extremely fucking difficult, but that's what I'm trying to hold in my mind, right? And while I'm saying this, that actually helps quite a bit, I'm not gonna lie. Like saying it already helps me quite a bit to think it, right? To like will it, to do it, you know? So let's see. Like this is already incorrect. Like I can, and again, I lost it, so I need to take a step back. Okay, and then try reconstructing it again, right? Just try reconstructing it, try reconstructing it, constantly just try reconstructing it. And like, again, placing the box proportionally accurately to the sphere is a fucking skill, a very difficult skill. It's all skills, right? Bless me. It's all skills, so. And again, like making sure the box itself is accurately sized, you know, and it is. See, like, because when I draw these lines, I zoom in. Not physically, where I don't go like this close to the paper, but mentally, I'm just locked in on that thing. But this entire thing, like this box, this entire thing is what I have to constantly be aware of, right? So that's another skill in of itself. And I'm trying that. I'm really trying to hold that as well as I can right now. And it is very difficult. It is extremely difficult. And that's why it's worthwhile, because if we're not doing something that's difficult, we're just not trying, right? And like, where do I get these angles? Because I also have to calculate these angles, right? I have to keep trying and keep trying and keep trying, and I'm slowly getting it down, right? I'm slowly getting it down just by continuously trying, right? Just extremely slow, because this shit does not happen overnight, right? Honestly, it doesn't even feel like it happens 90% of the time. Like, I'll be genuinely, like, it just feels like I'm not making any progress, which is why, I guess going back to what I was trying to talk about earlier, is like, that's why the effort is the only thing that matters, right? Because we have no other indicator. Like, there is actually, when you're in this stage that I am in, like, there's actually no other indicator that you're actually doing something correctly. You know what I mean? The only indicator is the effort that you put in. And even then, and like, while I'm drawing these tiny features, like, even then, that doesn't really feel as if you are doing anything worthwhile. But that's, I guess, quote unquote, the sign of success, right? Which is, the worthwhileness comes from just constantly trying and like holding it. So I lost it, right? So I gotta take a step back. Okay, now try to reconstruct it again. Like, and this is the most important part. And it took me what? It's taken me 38 minutes to get this flow down. 38 minutes, right? Of just kind of trying to understand and like to see like how I'm gonna go about doing this, right? 38 fucking minutes to what, to the average person, to you watching, is gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, this is so useless. This is the most pointless thing I've ever watched, right? And I'm obviously not talking about those of you who understand the point of the fundamentals and the point of doing extremely difficult foundational work. I'm not talking about that, because those of you who understand, right? Like, I don't have to explain, you know, what is actually being done and why it's important and why this is all really good effort, right? Because you understand. So I'm talking specifically about the beginners who will inevitably find my videos and be like, this is all kind of useless. What's this guy doing? It doesn't make any sense. And that's who I'm trying to explain to. Or at least like attempt to try to explain to. But again, like, I keep losing it. And I have to take it back, and I have to really bring it back and be like, okay, See, like my mind, again, anytime I think about this bottom plane and trying to fit the sphere in, immediately it goes to something like this, like way more drastic, immediately. And it's a constant effort to be like, no, 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 it's more subtle, right? Don't forget about these lines, right? They're reinforcing that it's way more subtle. And don't forget that the center line is right around, or like the front plane ends here, and your center line's roughly around here, and you're also gonna be foreshortening quite a bit. Don't forget about any of that. Make sure you don't forget, make sure you don't forget. And then now when I'm drawing these lines, they're like, oh, well, don't make sure that you don't lose the perspective at all, right? Because that's gonna happen. And it just did, so I have to take a step back and be like, okay, don't lose it, don't lose it, don't lose it, right? All just micro efforts as well, all while I'm drawing this. And I say like don't lose it, but I did lose it, so I have to take a step back again and be like, okay, reconstruct. I saw it for a moment there, it flickered a little bit. Okay, we kind of got it back now. Okay, so I kind of see it again. It's not bad. And I lost it again, right? And like, so the big thing is like while I'm drawing these tiny features, make sure I keep having it, right? Make sure I keep seeing it, the big picture, right? And like I'm just drawing this side, but I gotta make sure this perfect sphere that I'm trying to make is finished, right? So that's another thing is like, I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm trying to say, apart from just the fact that just constantly trying is the most important thing, and like you will lose it. And these are all great mistakes. Like genuinely, this is a great mistake, but you'll see that it's basically taken me the entire session to draw this and to fucking hurt my brain visualizing it, and then to now draw this and to hurt my brain visualizing this. And what's helping me right now is like, the main thing is like, I clearly have a habit of not visualizing the other side, but now I'm really trying to, now that I'm aware of it, it's like, okay, visualize this plane, and then just think about the sphere being finished. Like always think about the sphere being finished, right? Like visualize, like, is this even a perfect circle? Well, let's see, let's go all the way. Nope, that's not a perfect circle yet. Okay, let's go all the way again. There you go. That's way more of a perfect circle, right? And that way it confirms that the other side is like roughly around here somewhere. And then again, like the subtlety, right? And slowly, and then the center lines. Don't forget the fucking center lines. Right now, I'm already struggling with the goddamn box and sphere, but we cannot forget the center lines, right? So it's constant effort. And here, let's just put a fucking cylinder in here, just because zero creativity right now. Let's see. I think I'll do something like this, and then bring it over to the other side, because that makes sense to me. And then that's when it will be allowed to do something like, I'll be able to project it outward on the other side. Oh shit, I made a mistake. Yeah, I made a mistake. It's supposed to be like this. Yeah, this is actually what I meant to do. So that was my mistake. I meant to do something like this. But we'll just have to kind of force it and be like, oh, no, that was all part of the plan. But see, I zoomed in there. I completely lost it. So I'm going to rest my brain, and then we're going to try to get the box, everything. Just constantly try to get it again. There you go. Just constantly try to get it again. I think the perspective in general has been quite lost, but it's not about anything interesting. It's not about creating incredible shapes. The main thing is the foundation. That's what we're focusing on, just the foundation, pure foundation. But yeah, let me rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. Okay, so again, let's try to get this foundation back, right? So this is where the center line is. Again, really need to make it subtle, right? This is much longer than I think. Hold the box, think about the center lines, think about the sphere inside of it, right? Slowly get it down. It is getting better. I will say it is getting better, right? And now this is where I need to, because while I draw this, it's so easy to lose the perspective. Like genuinely, it's probably one of the easiest things to lose the perspective, but it's like right around there. See, that's already pretty incorrect, but it's okay. Maybe I could do something like this. Oh yeah, what if that's actually a cutout? That would make things a lot easier. And then what if I did something like this? Right? Well, that kind of looks like ass, but we have to live with it now. There you go. That looks like complete ass. That was just stupid, lack of ideation. That is not good. I want to be very clear. Like, look at that. That just looks dumb. There's no clear shape design there. Because again, the tendency, the human tendency, you know, is to be like, oh, this is difficult, so I'm just not gonna do the difficult thing, right? Like, that is the human tendency. But the learner's mindset is the difficult thing is what I'm gonna do. And like, we have to constantly reinforce and push ourselves to be able to do that difficult thing again. Like, the main thing right now is just to constantly see the sphere inside the box and then keep projecting the center lines inside of it, right? Like, that's the main thing right now. And this drawing actually gets in the way of that projection, which is why the main skill is to, no matter what, see the projection, right? Like, see this bottom plane in particular, and like to align it accurately. And I'm getting slightly better. I do think I'm genuinely getting slightly better. And then now be like, okay, like now the sphere will go alongside like so. And then like, do I have the sphere? Like, do I have the right sphere for this, right? And you'll see that no, I made quite the mistake, right? Quite the fucking mistake, but it's very wide. It's very wide. But it's not bad, actually, either, right? Like, it's okay. It's nothing that's abhorrent, you know? And while I draw this, I have to keep that fucking sphere in mind. But the main thing is, like, this is just not a smooth curve, right? I could have made this a lot smoother. But it's oh, and also I fucked up the center. You see, like, because this is too much space. So if anything, this should have been something like right around here. And that would have been there you go. That's already the sphere. That's much more accurate, right? Like this sphere right here, because then we just bring it. I'm trying to see this while holding it all in. Like, that's already much better, right? And that's definitely more accurate to the center. So you see, like, I have now, it's always been clear. Like, I have a tendency, you know, on the other side here, on the other side, is just to add too much space, right? Because again, like, this is the box, right? This is my extremely subtle box, like the bottom plane, extremely subtle. And then this is the box going over, same thing, right? And now, like, okay, it's like, now it's clear. Right now it's like, oh, okay, so this is my box, right? Like something like this, right? Even that's too much, like this angle that I made, you know, this comes up here, right? And then now it's like, oh, okay, we're starting to fit the box. But this is what I have to visualize. Like, what I'm just kind of like dot showing you is like, this is what I have to visualize, right? And this is what I have to visualize constantly. So you're like, okay, like now that we have a box, right? Whoa. Like, that's the box, that's the sphere inside of it. And it's not even that big of a box. Like, you see, it's like pretty relatively decent, accurate, similar to it, not even that big, but fuck me if it doesn't hurt my brain. But it's been 47 minutes. And I guess this is just what it's going to be like right now. Is like, we're going to draw the main thing and then we're going to try to keep wrapping. Because the better my foundations, the better I can draw portraits down the line. So the foundations are everything right now, right? So I'm going to obviously try this again, right? This time really focus on, I mean, not this time, but every time, just really focus on holding, especially like the main thing is encompassing the main thing, right? Like, clearly the main thing. And I say this for everything, oh, clearly it's this, clearly it's that, but it always comes down to clearly the main thing is the foundation, which is encompassing the perfect cube inside, or encompassing the perfect sphere, the perfect circle inside a perfect box in the appropriate perspective, right? And then the center lines, once I can hold those two things, the center lines, even though they flicker here and there, will be much more accurately represented. So this is why calculations is the most important thing, right? Oh god, bro, my fucking, like, my nasally voice is really is disgusting to hear, isn't it? But, and yes, now, right now, you'll be like, oh, this guy's struggling, who gives a fuck? But I'm hoping, you know, I'm actually not even hoping, I'm like fucking 110% confident that when I am greater, or great, or excellent, right, 5, 10, 15 years down the line, there will be beginners who come back to these videos. And, like, mark my words, I still struggled a fuck ton every single video. Like, here it is, right? What did he do? He fucking struggled, bro. He was dying. Therefore, that gives you permission, hopefully, to continue to struggle and to really use your brain, all right? Like, here you go. Here's your fucking permission, right? Yes, it is normal to think really hard. Yes, it is normal to think really hard and still fucking fail. And yes, failure is a good thing. You can train yourself to see failure as a good thing, right? Hundreds of mistakes have been made throughout this session. Hundreds of mistakes are made every fucking time I draw, right? So we just have to have such high standards that basically 90% of what we do is a mistake, right? And then the rest is just enjoying that and constantly trying to course correct, right? But I love this. I love this subtle angle because it forces me to be like, no, this is where the bottom of my sphere is, right? And now it's like really think about that box. Really, really, really think about encompassing the box, like surrounding the box inside the sphere, right? And perhaps maybe box first isn't the right approach. Perhaps sphere first and then encompassing the box in it is the right approach, or like wrapping the box outside of it. So I'm trying to like balance or trying to figure out both ways, but like just trying to hold this in and of itself in my mind on the page is very difficult, right? And yeah, Kim Jong-il was right. Like you can really only visualize fucking maybe 20 to 30% of it. He was masterful and spent 30 years, minimum 40 years, I think. He had fucking 30 to 40 years of experience. And even then he was like, yeah, I can visualize about 60% max, usually 40%, right? Because what we see in our minds and what we try to reflect on the page are it's a completely different thing, bro. It's a conversation between fucking like 10 different parts of your brain and your hand-eye coordination and all that shit. It's just completely different. So I'm gonna try to obviously do a different shape this time around, and this one is still gonna be focusing on centering and centering, right? And again, my mind keeps making the bottom plane like this. I keep making the bottom plane like this because that's easier and more clear. This has more clarity. This is more defined, right? In my mind, right? Like this is more calculable than something that's extremely subtle like this, right? Like that requires, it's like, okay, how the fuck do I calculate the center line there? What's going on? Because I haven't practiced that enough, right? I haven't practiced this angle enough. So what does this tell me? In my off time, I need to practice extremely subtle angles, extremely subtle foreshortening or strong foreshortening with subtle angles, right? But that's what I'm doing right now. Like that's literally what I'm doing right now, right? So it's just do more of that, do it, do more of that, do it with more effort, and keep trying to reconstruct the entire thing, right? Try to hold it. When it flickers, deconstruct, just like now. Okay, now try again, right? Like constantly just try reconstructing this. And yes, it doesn't look like I'm doing anything, but my mind is fucking firing. Like it is constantly firing, right? Patterns and whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like I'm constantly just thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking, right? But I didn't do much of this angle, right? We didn't do much of practicing this contour, so that's what I'm trying to think of, like where I could start, right? So let's see. Okay, see, I lost it completely. So again, and I lost it because I literally looked here and I completely, like perspective is gone, like focus is gone, right? It happens. That's normal. That's normal. That's expected. If you're not having that, you're not fucking learning. If you're not in extreme discomfort, or at the very least, well, I chase extreme discomfort, but if you're not at least in like a lot of discomfort, you're not getting it. You're not gonna get it. It's not gonna happen, right? And that's a good thing because you don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. If I'm not fucking trying my hardest, if I'm not just trying consistently, I don't deserve the skills which the prerequisite for the skill is thousands of hours or thousands of repetitions of just effort and intentional effort and constantly trying to see like what's working and what isn't, right? There are prerequisites to excellence, to even mediocrity. There are prerequisites, right? And it just comes down to, okay, like, do you want to pay the price? And the answer is, if you give enough of a shit, yes, I'll fucking pay the price, right? And it's like, okay, I want to give a shit, but how do I give a shit? And that's why I keep saying we focus on the effort, right? That's why, like, it's the only thing we can control is the effort, right? Because you can't control the output, because the output is what you want, which you don't have. So you can only control the effort, which is trying to attempt to do the thing that you want, which you don't have, which over time, and again, like constantly using it as a frame of reference, being like, okay, I tried to do this, I tried to do this thing to get to this result, but my expectation was only to try to do the thing to get to that result. And now I look at the discrepancy and be like, there's the result of like, quote unquote, and the result is like the people, the standards, the artists we all look up to, whatever we're trying to achieve. And then the thing, like the attempt is what we analyze, be like, what is the discrepancy, right? And for me right now, the biggest discrepancy is getting this angle and putting the sphere inside of it accurately. And I'm trying so hard. I'm literally trying so fucking hard, right? But let's shut the fuck up and get the center line in as well. Like while I try to hold that sphere, right? While I try to hold that sphere, let's try to get the center line and let's really try to think about the edges of the box as well, right? And think about that perfect sphere, right? Really fucking difficult trying to hold this all together. And obviously, let's not forget the fucking constantly calculating this, right? Constantly calculating the ellipse that's inside that side plane and the bottom plane. But I think that right now the main thing I need to do is establish the corner of my sphere. So yeah, see, my brain keeps doing this for the bottom plane, but every time, see, again, my hand does that too, because that's just the motion that I'm used to. But I just need to, and again, like, again, okay, now this is going this way, right? Like, my hand's going this way, so it's, when you go slowly, right? And while I'm doing this, I need to envision the sphere, right? Because this has to be the right length as well. We need to envision the sphere, and when we bring it up, we need to think about, okay, like, what is my entire horizontal line? And now I think I'm slowly going to create that, right? It helps a little bit. I'm gonna rest my brain because that was a lot of effort, genuinely a lot of effort. And then we're gonna try again. I encourage you to, it's like extreme bouts of effort, building your mental model, building your visualization, breaking it down, reconstructing it, right? Like, or when it breaks down, reconstructing it, and then you rest because you put in a solid amount of effort. And you allow your brain, the gap effect, to consolidate and 20x fucking that information, right? At the speed it sort of replays it in your mind. So yeah, rest your brain with me, please. Then, to be honest, like the main reason I'm really constantly saying, oh, this is extremely uncomfortable, oh my god, I'm putting in so much effort, or my brain hurts, is because of also like I'm visualizing it in terms of down the line, because down the line things will get a lot easier for me, right? Because this isn't linear, but down the line, like when I'm talking about sort of hold up, shut the fuck up. But, and again, like even this, I just need to, there you go, right? Because, oh, see, that's already a lot better. That's already a lot better. There you go. And because now I can do this. And this is still not this angle. This is a bit more intense. It's like this, right? While you see this one's kind of like this, right? And yeah, my lines need so much fucking work. Like my lines, everything needs so much work. But this is already a lot better, and I'm already seeing things a lot clearer because I've established the side now, right? Which is nice, which is good. And now we can, hold up, maybe I can do something like this as well, right? And this will allow me to think about, ooh, yeah, this is hurting my brain. This is good. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, because again, like I'm getting distracted by my own efforts, right? Which is not a distraction, but I'm focused on my efforts, which is why talking and drawing is such a fucking difficult skill, right? But, right, because right now I'm really trying to hold that box and the sphere, like the perfect sphere. I'm trying to align the edges properly too, so we get a proper sphere, right? Like we get a proper sphere. Maybe this isn't even, because this is the edge of my fucking, the plane. Right, so, I might have made the sphere a bit too small, to be honest. But okay, we'll just have to allow that. We'll just have to allow it because that's just the reality now, right? I'm not gonna change it just and try and fuck it up in that sense, because like already holding this is very difficult for my brain. But the reason I keep saying like, oh, this is very difficult, this is very difficult, holding this is fucking like not painful, sorry. Holding this is an extreme amount of cognitive friction. We're never gonna use the words pain to describe our efforts, because you're basically doing yourself a disservice, right? You're doing yourself a disservice by stating that it's painful rather than it's effortful, right? They're both the same thing, but language has a lot of power. Language has a lot of power, right? And if we give language the power to describe something in a means that isn't conducive to our own mentality, then we've essentially given power to the only thing we have control of, which is our mindset, right? Which is why I'll always never use these fucking words like pain. I know Alex Hormozy loves using the word pain, but he comes from the business world, and for him it's a different type of struggle, right? And like obviously I'm a huge like I've really come to love the mindsets and shit he promotes. It's the thing is like, again, he was just confirming everything I already thought about, which is fucking growth mindset, effort, errors, like just keep going, never stop. But either way, that aside, let's think about, again, like the reason I keep saying it is because, yeah, when I am excellent, when I have continuously, like, again, because in my drawings in the backgrounds, you'll see a shit ton of like my stuff. You'll just keep seeing it get better and better. It's like retarded thumbnail and then behind a really good drawing. What the fuck's going on? And it'll just keep getting better and better and better until you won't be able to ignore it. And when you can ignore it, and when you click on my channel and you'll see 800 plus videos, 800 plus hours. What the fuck? How did you get to this point? I want you to come here, right? The beginner who's listening right now, fucking 5, 10, 15 years in the future. I want to come here and listen to these words. I struggled every fucking time, all right? And I kept going, and I learned to love the struggle, because that's two options. Lament the process, learn to enjoy the process. Two options, that's it. That's all you have. Which one do you want to be? It's as simple as that. And now, if you want to be, obviously, the one who fucking enjoys the process, focus on the effort, focus on the errors, derive enjoyment from them. That's all that fucking matters. That's all that matters. And you're capable of it. Okay, I am nobody special. Literally the least fucking special human being on the goddamn planet. Okay, if you're gonna just go by like, what makes him different? Nothing. Fucking nothing. Except learning that I can be different, you know? And then just essentially creating a new version of myself through sheer effort. Okay? If you want to subscribe to talent, go ahead, get the fuck off my channel. Like, go ahead, get the fuck off my channel and talk about talent. Like, this isn't the place for that, right? This is genuinely not the place for that. This is the place for believing that we can be better and putting in the effort to be better. That's what this is all about. Okay? So yeah, hashtag become a Veggie farmer. Let's see. So I already fucked up this perspective a little bit. It's nowhere near as foreshortened as this. And I'm just trying to think in general, like what could be done, like what I could do right now, right? Let's see. Again, this is all simple shapes. We're just trying to keep things simple. Because like while I do this angle, I have to calculate this, right? And then when I calculate that, I have to make sure that it's actually consistently calculable, right? So yeah, that is actually pretty accurate. See, and that just like, why can I do that more intuitively? Because I put in a fuck ton of hours into calculating it through sheer cognitive effort until it became intuitive, right? Intuition is just the result of effort. You know, and that's literally just how it is. And it's a good thing. Would you rather intuition be something that just is like, oh, I kind of just vibed my way into it? Or would you rather intuition be like, no, I worked very, very, very hard, and now my brain has consolidated that information and became much more efficient at representing it through my actions, which is the art that you see on the page. So, but yeah, like this is why I keep talking about this shit. This is more, apart from reminders to myself, it's also, and again, my lines are so bad right now, bro. Again, you see how bad my lines are? In the future, my lines may only be slightly better, but I'm constantly making an effort to make my lines better, right? And that's also what that matters the most. Like, see, that was a bad line. That wasn't a good line. That was a bad line, right? And again, let's see, like, okay, so this sphere, okay, so I need to take a step back because I completely lost the perspective. Because again, when I'm drawing these little details, I zoom in mentally, right? And then I lose the entire big picture. So it's already been an hour. Fuck, oh no, my pen, I dropped my pen, and then I hit the goddamn thingy and everything's shaking right now. Okay, no, we're good. But I'm gonna rest my brain again, and then I'm gonna reconstruct the box and the sphere inside the box and the central lines. Skibbity bibbity, up your dibbity. Right, look at me, I'm Pickle Biggie. I don't fucking know. Anyways, let's rest our brains. The funny thing is, I randomly still get comments, or I mean, I'm a very small channel, so I don't randomly get comments, but I'm at 1.08k subs. You know I'm tiny when I'm fucking counting the 08k. Like the fucking 1080, by the way, 1.08, not even 1.8, not even 18, right? But, okay, so this is like a very, I need to reconstruct this sphere, and to do that, I might actually do something like this. And we're gonna, there you go, we're gonna add a diagonal inside the diagonal, like so. That might make it more interesting, right? But we got the edge of the box, and let's see, I want to do something like this, right? because we got the edge of the box, and I want to think about the sphere. And like, okay, it's like again, I'm really trying to think about the box and the sphere right now. I'm really trying to think about it, right? Genuinely, really trying to think about it. And okay, so and then again, the center lines, right? The center lines, really trying to make sure that I'm not overstepping any boundaries. And now this is going to be a crapshoot in a sense. Like this is me kind of just going to it and estimating, you know. But yes, as I'm always saying, right, everybody is capable of becoming excellent, right? Every single person is capable of that, right? And whether your excellence is just, okay, see, like this is actually not enough. When I look at this, yeah, this should have been a lot more defined. But again, we got to think about that box, the side plane, really, really try to keep it in mind. Hold up, I'm completely losing it, so I need to make sure that this makes sense in the grand scheme of things, because again, like, do I even have the perfect sphere anymore? Probably not, which is why I need to constantly readjust, right? There you go. Maybe if I do something like this. Oh, well, that line was a fuck up, but okay, so we got something like this, and again, it's so hard to see that perfect sphere, but if I put it inside the box, yet again, keep trying to see that box, keep trying to see that box. And again, well, my head was actually zooming in a little bit. Paper was like this. I started here, then I went in here, which again is a skill to zoom out and just to draw while you're like a decent space behind or like from the paper. That's also a skill. And I'm at the tail end of my practice, right? So my brain is really, really, really struggling to understand things, right? And like to consistently keep, see again, like I keep making it too dramatic. So I need to, there you go, something like this. Now that's the box, right? And again, my eyes zoomed in there, but I need to zoom out and be like, okay, where is the perspective, right? Like where is the perspective, you know? And this is kind of where I'm just gonna have to try to figure it out while I do it. And maybe this is gonna be a bit too thick, or a bit too thin actually. But there you go, maybe something like that. Right, that's the box. This is actually wrapping around it. Let's see. And then we can maybe, let's see, that's the fucking sphere. So I lost the box again. I've completely lost it. But again, obviously I'm losing my train of thought while I'm drawing. See, okay, so that sphere's definitely way too wide. I could have made it a little bit better, but I didn't because I'm not skilled enough to make it better yet, right? Good old yet. Not skilled enough yet. Let's not forget that, right? Not skilled enough yet. So let's just, okay, and then we'll have something like this. This will be my affirmation that I am doing things slightly correctly, because this is my perspective. Right? Yep, that's my perspective. So that makes things a little bit easier to understand now. Just a little bit, but nothing too intense, right? And I'm still trying to hold the entire box and align things perfectly as much as I can, right? But that's what I'm trying to say is I'm just trying. I'm constantly just trying, right? And what else can be done? You know, if we think about it, like what else can be done, right? We cannot have the outcome, and again, I just repeat myself, but these are things I repeat myself to remind myself that that is the process. Like this is the journey, right? So those of you from the future, this is the journey, constant effort, and you are capable of it, okay? If I'm going to create an archival legacy of artistic excellence to prove anybody can draw, it obviously makes sense for me to say the words which I believe and want to impart on to quote unquote, you know, the next generation, right? Because right now I'm still young. I'm 28, right? Some might say that's not that young. Fucking you're an onk, but I'm still young. I'm 28. I haven't had the experience as well in terms of my artistic endeavors to have the, I guess, the right, the liberty, right, to say oh bro, like do this, do that. But as I continue onward in my journey, my words will hold more weight. And that just comes with experience, right? It's okay, see, I fucked this up again. So made this too wide, didn't see the box, right? So lots of mistakes were had. Yeah, did not do this to, yeah, didn't do this properly. Let's see, maybe just something like this. Because I've completely lost it, but I'm trying to hold it. I am trying to hold it. I want to be very clear. I literally am trying to hold this all together and make sense of it, right? But anyways, as I was saying, like if, because I will be continuing, right? And at a certain point, my age will be like, oh, wisdom, experience, all that shit. So if it's clearly my responsibility to impart knowledge, through this whole artistic journey, then part of that is to ensure that I say the right things to prove my point that anybody can draw, right? And also because I fundamentally believe the things that I'm saying. I fundamentally believe that anybody can draw. I fundamentally believe that it's all about mindset and effort. I fundamentally believe those things. So, yeah, pee pee poo poo. Okay, see, I've actually completely lost the perspective, by the way. Like, the only reason I can even draw in perspective right now is because everything that I've established before with the perspective is what's guiding me, but I've essentially lost a lot of it. This isn't that bad. This actually isn't that bad. And again, like I'm wrapping around the forms, but it took so much fucking effort. So much effort. Like, think about it. Oh, fuck me. I'm thinking about this box. I'm trying to put a sphere inside the box. I'm trying to put center lines inside the sphere inside the box. And I'm trying to design on top of it. But more than anything, the main thing right now is like I'm really trying to make sure the sphere inside the box is aligned correctly. And you can see this isn't a good sphere. This isn't a good sphere. This isn't even foreshortened like this was, right? Even though initially I thought I was doing it, but I made this too wide as well. Lots of mistakes. And you see I had to like expand things. My lines are getting slightly better, slightly, right? Let's do something like this actually. It'll make it look a little bit nicer, I think. Just something like that. There you go. It's like a little connection thing, right? There you go. Maybe something like that. I think this also perhaps could be wrapping around or like a cutout, right? Nothing extraordinary, but let's see. Oh yeah, and then there you go. Okay, I mean that's fine. The designs, this is really not about the designs right now. I've gotten better at definitely just doing simple shapes. You can see yesterday was more intensive, but today is like, yesterday I focused a lot more on flowing. Today I'm focusing a lot more on effort, and it's kind of like a back and forth. And what I mean by flow, to clarify, is like I let general ideation and guidelines define it, while here like I really went for accuracy and just holding it and then reconstructing. So it's still not bad. Again, what was I trying to think about here? I was trying to think about something like this, right? This being my perspective, like this. I was essentially trying to think about this box like a perfect cube in perspective, right? And then I was trying to hold, and then I was trying to fit the sphere accurately inside that box, right? Just constantly trying to fit it, and it's extremely difficult. Like, this is the first layer of the box. Like, second layer was a sphere. Third layer was the center lines, right? Like this center lines, or sorry, the ellipse, which then becomes the center line, right? I didn't even do this properly, but I'm just trying to illustrate a point here. Like this is the minor axis, and then you project it, and then if this is my sphere, right, you're projecting this curve, this part of the ellipse, outward to the center, and then you're doing something like this, right? Like, those are the things I'm constantly trying to think about, and the same thing for the vertical one, right? So yeah, like this is the fucky shit I'm trying to hold in my mind, and that will take years. 100% it will take years, and even if it doesn't, great. If it takes more, great. If it doesn't take, great. But what can't be taken away from me ever, and what can't be taken away from you ever, is effort. And also, I forgot to close this off. Oh, see, my lines are really bad, which feels good because I'm trying to work on them, right? And this isn't even that good of a design. I made it too thin here. Feels as if I could have done more with this, right? But it's cool. That's what it is. But yeah, as always, Viggy motivation. But either way, my brain is very tired. Like, I can literally feel the fatigue in my brain right now because of how hard I tried. So Everybody after this drawing session, don't fucking go on your phone, don't scroll, don't do anything. Rest it for 20 minutes. And if that makes you restless, now you know. Another skill you can add to your repertoire to focus on is learning how to rest after intense work bouts, because during that rest, the spacing effect is occurring. Your brain is literally playing this shit backwards for some reason, we don't know why, but it's literally playing it, consolidating it, and then during rest is when your synapses, right? The connections between your dendrites or whatever the fuck, the axon, the fucking myelin sheath, whatever. The point is, you're learning a lot better, okay? So please rest your brain, I implore you. Yeah, with that being said, I hope you put a lot of fucking effort in. And as always, fuck you for watching. I'll keep drawing, and please, give me money.